Hello and welcome to episode number 2 of WTF Happened to AFI. The show where we look back at AFI's career and just analyse how did we go from the super gothic hardcore punk band to God knows what it is now. And maybe reassess things and say, are we being a bit harsh? But if you watched the first episode, you'll see what happened. But if you are new, a conversation with me and Percy here. We watched the new AFI video, and it was just like, what the fuck happened to AFI? So now we're going back to the beginning, and we're treading old ground. So I'm joined as ever by my good friend Percy Wise. How are you, now, mate?
Sup, man? Very good. Thank you for having me yet again.
Yeah, man. We're in for the long haul now.
We are.
Completely off the cuff, and now we're going to go through the whole catalogue by the looks of it.
Damn straight. I like it. I like the idea. I'm going to start off this by saying I'm really excited about next week because listening to this album made me realise how good AFI are about to become and how boring this album is.
This is going to be a good episode. All right. So, one thing we forgot to mention on the last episode, Answer That and Stay Festival was actually produced by Tim Armstrong from Rancid.
That's right, yes.
We completely missed that out.
Fucking hell.
Try not to choke.
No, ain't it?
We've got a show to do.
Oh, professionalism. Right, yes. Yeah, very strange. This was probably pre-Hellcat Records, right?
No, this was actually released on Nitro Records.
No. I'm saying when he produced this album.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Hellcat Records probably didn't exist back then.
I'm not. Who's Hellcat Records? Is that his label?
That's his label. So that's like what Distillers, Tiger Army, and stuff like that are on.
Oh, I don't know. That's what I wanted to ask you. So what's the link? Maybe we'll get into it later, but if we do, just let me know and we will get into it later. What is the link between AFI and Tiger Army? Is it the bass player on these albums go on to do Tiger Army?
Yeah, this is the last album that the bass player is in.
And then he forms Tiger Army.
Yeah. And obviously, well, I say obviously, and you may remember the band Son of Sam. Do you remember that? It was a super project. That
was a super group, wasn't it? It was Glenn Danzig's guitarist and Davey Havoc did the vocals.
Yeah, and Tiger Army bassist. It might have been Tiger Army drummer, thinking about it.
Yeah.
Someone
they did
else
the second album as well, but it was a different vocalist, wasn't it?
Different vocalist, that's right. I listened to it. I really liked Son of Sam, the first album. I really, really enjoyed it as an album. But I didn't get on with the second one too much. I think maybe too much time had passed for me.
Yeah.
It was very much an album of its time.
Yeah, and sometimes it's lightning in a bottle, isn't it? Especially when you do a super group.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these super groups, they never admit it, but a lot of them, the labels will put something together to put out something to tie people over in between albums.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, this shit.
Yeah.
But every so often, you get a good one.
I loved the supergroup pairing with Michael Graves. Do you remember that one? What was it called? It was... I Don't Want to Be a Superhero.
I've not heard of that, no.
It was a superhero. It was a super group.
Yeah.
It was a load of metal guys, and it was
Michael Graves.
It was loads of different super groups released an album.
Oh, I don't know.
I Don't Want to Be a Superhero.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It was a song.
Roadrunner United.
Yeah, I've got the album down here. Yeah, you're talking about that?
That's it, yeah. Michael
Graves. I thought it was a band called On.
No, sorry, I was probably just explaining myself poorly.
Yeah. Track number 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a hodgepodge. Every track on this was a mixture of different bands on Roadrunner. Nuclear
Yeah.
Blast did a one of their own. Yeah, let me look the song up.
Oh, me.
Michael Graves on vocals, Matt Heafy from Trivium on guitar, Justin Hagberg, not sure who he is. Mike the Antonio, is he on
3 Inches of Blood? Gate? He's Justin Hamburg.
Oh, that's 3 Inches of Blood. And Dave Chavari, I don't know who he is. I'll have to quickly look him up. But the
Kill Switch Engage, you were right, yeah. And Dave Chavari, I'm looking up now. A Soulfly, Propane.
Oh well, fucking every drummer's been in Soulfly for about 5.
I think I was in Soulfly for a while.
Yeah. I was one of them people that walked on the stage with like some fucking weird instrument. And like, oh, it must be from whatever country. Yeah, that was written by Matt Heafy and music by Michael Graves. Yeah. What a bad album this actually. Not all of it works, but the stuff that is good is really good.
That album, well, that track in particular stuck out to me, but then, you know, that was the one that screamed to my punk sensibilities.
Yeah.
Whereas the rest of it was just dirty fucking metalers being metal.
Keith Computo does a good song on there. Nina Computo now, but at the time it was Keith.
Who's
the artist formerly known as Keith.
Is that the
Life of Agony?
Life of Agony, yeah. I was going to do that I fucking missed out. I was going to do, because it was International Women's Day, wasn't it? I was going to do like a countdown of best women in punk and rock, and it was going to, and the final one would have even been,
Careful.
It would have been a toss-up between Against Me or Life of Agony.
Oh yeah, Against Me. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Moving swiftly on. Yeah. So yeah, very proud of you. 1996. This is the final album with their bassist, who went on to Tiger Army and is now in a band called Fear. Am I right in thinking Fear is the guy from Refused? What's their new band called? There's
a fucking band called Fear, right? Everyone, like Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers was in a band called Fear. Dave Grohl was in a band called Fear. The amount of thrash metal albums that have like a bonus track with a Fear cover on it, but I don't know who the fuck this Fear band are.
Yeah, fuck knows. It's like we were talking about it in one of our other episodes actually. Have Heart are in a band now called Free.
Yeah.
You fucking look up the word free in a music search. Come on, man.
Well, and they're one of the biggest rock bands ever as well. Fucking right now.
Also, right, if you're thinking of a band name, one of the first things you do when you think, oh, you know what, this sounds like a good name, you might fucking Google it. You know, Foo Fighters, that sounds like a good name for a band. I think, oh no, there happens to be a band called the Foo Fighters. Who would have thought? Oh. Okay, so Fear formed in 1977.
There we go.
Oh, fuck off. Why would you even want to be in a band that's old? Oh, I've just seen a photo of them. Pardon me. Anyway, so yeah, this is the final album with the original bassist.
Yep. First album to feature Jade, who would go on. I forget the guy's name.
But he only done backing vocals on this,
and he does backing vocals on the next album.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I wouldn't be able to point out his voice though, even now.
But Hunter comes on the next album as well, doesn't he?
I believe so.
That's the next album is the first album where all 4 current members are on.
Yeah.
Even though Jade's not a full member yet.
And I think it's fair to say that that's the album where AFI are really come into their own.
Yes, I would agree as well.
As I said at the beginning of this video, this album bored me, man.
Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. I mean, I was quite positive about it. I think
there's a couple.
It's a bit like the last album, just with better production, and it
but
just
worse songs.
Yeah, there's a couple of songs I do really like.
Modern Epic really shows what AFI can be.
Yeah, standout tracks for me are. Was it Cult Status?
Cult Status I enjoyed.
Advances in Modern Technology.
Modern Technology. Yep.
And Charles Atlas.
Yeah.
And there's 2 songs from the last album.
Yeah. Although, maybe, I mean, I guess it was more important back then to kind of, if you were to say, oh, that was a good album, but that was a good track, but it was probably missed out by a lot of people. Now this is being thingied.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything with it. I think Your Friedman's got slightly different vocal timings. Like there's a couple of bit in this bit he doesn't go 1 2 1 2 3 4, which I think is actually a downgrade on any track. If you take out someone screaming numbers, you lose it, bruv. But yeah, I think Modern Epic, that one deserved that really felt like AFI. It was full of O's.
Yeah, you didn't get so much of that on the first album, do you? I mean, It becomes like a real signature thing later on, but like a signature component to their songwriting. But,
yeah. But
yeah.
I don't know, man. As I said, it wasn't a bad album.
No, I know what you mean. Stylistically, it's a step forward. It feels like they're a bit tighter, a bit more developed, a bit more, just used to playing and writing together. And it feels like a big step forward and a step in the direction of where they're going. The more use of the whoa,
yeah,
bit more use of like backing vocals and chanted vocals, so a bit more. So there would have been a bit more crowd interaction going on. But yeah, we're still a long way from
a real band.
Like Black Sails in the Sunset and Art of the Ground.
If this album never came out,
I
don't think they'd deviate much from where they were. If they were like, okay, we're not going to have time to record, so we're just going to stay on tour. I don't think, like, if Black Sails hadn't come out, like if for one reason or another they stopped there and went on tour for years and years and years instead of recording, I think AFI would have definitely stayed more into their hardcore roots.
Yeah.
Whereas this one here, I don't think it's done anything to progress them as a band as to where they're gonna go. It's very much a carbon copy of number 2, the first album. But as you say, with slightly, the production value's gone up. They're now signed to, a major record label, or at least someone who's got some money behind it. Wingnut to Nitro's a big leap.
I reckon them, like someone like Dexter Holland signing them to his label, it must have been based on their live show.
Yeah.
They must have been pretty furious live, I reckon.
Yeah, and I think there's only one artist left on Nitro Records.
Is it still going? They've got a new album, man. They
do, and I really want to do a history of the Offspring because I find them. I take shit for this all the time. I love the Offspring. I still love the Offspring. Their last album had some fucking crackers on it, but half the tracks are utter dog shit.
The Offspring, the singles I think done it for them, didn't it? And
that's where the money's in.
And they got a bit of flack from the punk scene because they were successful.
Yeah, I mean, there was a good interview when Smash come out. People just fucking destroyed their tour bus and called them sellouts.
Yeah.
And you know, and here we are listening to fucking Pretty Fly for a White Guy. But
whole fucking. I remember watching an interview once with Lemmy from Motorhead, and he just said, you know, sellout is always a funny thing because it basically just means more people bought your music, and you know, sometimes people just get lucky. A successful album doesn't matter how good it is; it's normally down to timing. Comes out at that right time and in that right climate, that's when it kicks off. But he says, like, we even got called a sellout once. Someone said we were sold out when we got a record deal. He went, what the fuck do you think we were doing it for?
yeah. Bigwig wrote a song called Sellout. What he's selling out is putting food on the table.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it's summed up pretty well in that song by Tool. What's this song called? Hooker with a Penis or something. And there's he basically just some a guy wearing Van 501s, drinking Coke, comes up to like he's got all these brands coming up to me telling me a sellout. And he's like, I made a record and you bought one. And I thought, that song sums up that whole fucking argument.
Yeah.
And you know, unless you literally just record music and put it on 5 CDs and literally just give it to your mates, if you try and bring any business aspect into making your band try and pay for itself, as soon as you do that, you're a sellout in these people's eyes. So, and what does someone who didn't sell out look to them exactly?
Yeah.
Because
what's the benefit of
a ticket to a show is a ticket to a show. A T-shirt is a T-shirt. It's all the same.
Yeah. Definitely. So I actually done some investigation on this one. AFI, very proud of you. Got almost 5 stars on punknews.org, which Punk News back in the day, and this was reviewed in 2001, was worth something. Now Punk News is dog shit. I wouldn't.
They all are, aren't they?
Yeah.
Was the internet even a thing when this came out?
96. I reckon so. 2 years
after. It would
after
have been a very basic form, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It probably wasn't as widespread, but yeah, I think so.
Right. Was this a thing when, like, it's 1996? That would have been CDs. It would have a little CD-ROM bit.
You put it in
your CD-ROM, and there'd be a little video.
This was probably released on tape.
Yeah.
Not even mini disc.
Yeah. I never bought anything on mini disc. I don't think
I had 3 albums on mini disc. Offspring, Americana, Jamiroquai. I don't know what fucking one that was gifted to me, and another one that was gifted to me. But mini disc was fucking awesome because I used to be able to put like 4 albums on an entire disc.
Yeah.
So yes, very proud of you. As we have deviated one.
Yeah, let's get into it then. I mean, this artwork, that's not an AFI artwork, is it?
No.
I mean, even Answer That and Stay Fashionable. You know, they're in. It's a Reservoir Dog thing, but they're a couple of punk. You can tell they're punks, even though they're wearing suits. Davey's got the devil lock. They're all wearing sunglasses. You can kind of you can still kind of tie that to, you know, hardcore, punk thing. But
so,
even though
apparently this was actually this was made by the bassist. This artwork, bassist made it. And also, they're not called AFI in this album. Did you hear that? Well, they're not called A Fire Inside. The album actually has them accredited as Asking for It.
Yeah, I did hear.
But that was a big thing, wasn't it?
There's a lyric in a song called "A Fire." He says "a fire inside," and then they put "a fire inside" on the inside of the spine of the CD.
Yeah.
And that was when they were forever known as "A Fire Inside."
Mm.
But yes, AFI didn't originally stand for that, apparently.
Yeah, I don't know if they have actually said that's what they are.
Or it weren't from day one, anyway.
Yeah.
No, I remember reading an interview saying, "What does AFI stand for?" It says "A Fire Inside."
Yeah.
And David Havock's got a heart on fire on his chest.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Unless he's blacked that out as well.
Yeah. If you don't like it, delete it, bruv.
They could have been called a bunch of fucking idiots.
Yep. Yeah. Well, if anything, after album 6 is to be believed, yeah. So this one starts off with "He Who Loves Last." Bit of a boring starter.
Well, it comes out the gate, doesn't it? It's a fast song. Yeah. It kind of just comes out the gate, and then not even 2 minutes in, you're already into track 2. So it kind of over. You can have a chance to get what's going on.
I find track 2 better. That feels slightly better. I think lyrically they've taken a step back. There's a couple of lines in this that really kind of almost make me cringe.
Is there a song where he says, "I don't want to fuck you, so fuck off"?
Yeah. And yeah. Also "I'm not angry, I'm just upset," or so. It's like, I can't remember what track that is, but it really disappointed me. And even track 1, that "we've got a problem, first of all there is no we," it's like, it sounds like a mum berating a child.
Yeah.
It's angsty in the most basic way, and I think that's my sum up of this album. I wouldn't have said this is album number 2 after Answer That and Stay Fashionable.
I mean, again, the album cover, it looks like an EP. It doesn't look like an album cover.
Yeah, this one's actually labelled as the first full length.
So what was Answer and Stay Fashionable then?
That's what I don't get.
Because they reissued that as well, didn't they?
Yeah, perhaps.
Was this officially the first album because everyone, knew of Answer It and Stay Fashionable's existence, and they were just sorting after it? I mean, fuck it, we'll just re-release it.
Yeah.
Demo.
Yeah.
I wonder how much, because they put out a bunch of EPs and singles even before that.
Yeah.
I wonder how much they go for eBay or whatever now.
Oh, mate.
Or if they put them out, would ever put them out a compilation? I mean, I bet it's shit, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not simply good.
No, I can't imagine them being particularly high. Well, they'll be high value, but I don't think they'll be high quality. Let's get this back on. Yeah, file 13 feels much better. If you got rid of He Who Laughs Last and just burnt straight into file 13, I think I'd be happier.
Yeah. Okay, what about Wake Up Call? Good little bass solo on that one.
Yeah, I don't like the intro. That da-da, da-da, it's wasted time. That's 20 seconds though. Yeah. But as soon as it kicks in, I'm a bit happier. Good verse, good chorus. Sorry.
I think Cold Status is the one.
Let's go to Cold Status, shall we? Nice bass intro on Cult Status.
Yeah, I don't think much of it, to be honest.
No.
So then Perfect Fit. I'm trying to think of the first one. I was like, this has got a really good chorus. This one's... I think it was Advances in Modern Technology.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I've got Perfect Fit thumbs up.
Yeah, I like Advances. It's a bit more of a poppy riff as well, isn't it? It sounds more like just a 100 miles an hour hardcore song. But that catchy sort of pop punk.
Yeah. Yeah, I've given I like Perfect Fit. And let's have a look at the track after that. Advances in Modern Technology. Oh, yeah, that intro. Yeah, that guitar. That feels like that feels like something from Black Sails.
Mm.
It obviously loses it because when the drums kick in and it goes more kind of into your hardcore punk, but that guitar intro would work. But
do you think people when Black Sails in the Sunset came out were like, this is fucking shit?
Oh, I hope so. I
love the fucking first album.
Yeah. They fucking lost it.
Yeah, they've gone all fucking gone.
I don't know, man.
I remember when the singer didn't wear makeup.
I doubt that was ever a thing. He seems like the type that grew up wearing makeup. Yeah, I like Advances in Modern Technology. I'm going to say that Perfect Fit are probably the good tracks on the album. Theory of Revolution is fast.
Yeah. I think always through it is the drummer. I think the two driving forces are Baby Havoc and what's the drummer's name? Sorry.
Adam Carson.
Yeah, he is a phenomenal drummer. It's got to be said.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think the guitars and the bass just kind of exist. There's the track before this, so Advances in Modern Technology. That was one of the rare times where there was a really something interesting going on in the guitar.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just Blink-182 could write the tracks.
You're a pretty big fan of Tiger Army as well, aren't you?
That's right, man.
You saw them live and everything, didn't you?
Yeah, I've seen them loads of times, mate. Very, very good. Very good. Even now, even though they're definitely much softer than they ever were, they've still retained that good sound. Definitely worth catching. They've yet to put out a disappointing album. So this Secret Ninja.
Yes. Now this is a highlight as well.
Yeah. Again, it's another one where the guitar's actually doing something that's not boring.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not just strumming and fretting.
Yeah, and this one definitely feels like something AFI. Yeah, this is AFI.
It feels like a single, doesn't it? And even the vocal line, the melody in the chorus.
Even the delivery, the vocal delivery. Just say hello, but...
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's delivered differently from the rest of the album. It's vocally, it's completely delivered differently from anything else they've done so far.
No, yeah, it sticks out on this album like Store of Fun.
Yeah. Really showed what they can do. And again, you know, does show what they can be.
Hmm. And this is what I said earlier about this album. It's not earth-shattering, but it is a step in the right direction. You do see an evolution on this album.
Yeah.
We're still far from where we're going, but It is a step forward from Answer That and Stay Bashful.
Yeah. Soapbox Derby is very generic. In fact, this is the song. This is that I'm not angry. I'm just confused. Yeah. Oh, amused that you're. It just sounds like a fucking nursery rhyme, man.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a very.
It's like angsty punks by numbers.
Mm.
And I think, you know what? I think it's probably not a bad song. But after This Secret Ninja, you really notice the drop in quality.
Yeah, it's a couple that stick out, actually, for me. I mean, again, these songs are so short, it's hard to really get any real conversation going about them because they're over before you even.
Yeah. And I think it is, and this Aspirin Free's all right, but this sickens me on a level that I'm sure you understand. But when I say it, the longer songs are actually the better songs with AFI. Because and you know me.
I remember you saying like any song over 3 minutes isn't worth listening to.
Fuck that shit, mate. I'm going F minor style. If it's over 20 seconds, it's outstayed its welcome. But I think the longer songs for AFI work a lot better. Because especially later on, because they do like to experiment. But
I remember. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I remember reading a thing with John Peel, the Radio 1 DJ.
Yeah.
He said like when he was getting into Napalm Death and all them, he was going to see Napalm Death and Extreme Noise Terror, and if they let like one of them did a song was like 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
And it's like punk went fucking prog rockers. The longest song in the set, like 30 seconds.
There's I don't know, you probably do know about it. There's that album Short Song for Short People.
Yeah.
Which is, a bunch of fat bands, and AFI do a track on it as well. And every song's like 30 seconds long, and I think that's a really good show of what you can actually do in 30 seconds. Strung Out's song on that was very, very good. Aspirin Free at 1 minute 55. The breakdown, that really feels like AFI.
Yeah, I don't know
why. Yeah, exactly. No need to, no. That's if this one come out in Answer That.
Did they ever play anything from any of this, like from this era, even back in the day? Yeah, like around Art Drowning time.
I doubt it, mate.
No,
I can't imagine them doing anything from it.
Just dropping one in the set now and then, or even then, I suppose if they did, it'd be over before you knew it. And
yeah, I bet they don't do any.
Encore, something like that.
No, I bet they won't touch anything before Black Sails. I bet even
nowadays, definitely. Yeah, I'm just saying about like when you went to see them.
Yeah, but even when I went to see them, I don't recall hearing anything kind of super early, which is weird. Like back then it made more sense because, as you say, the internet wasn't about. People didn't download albums, whereas now, if you like a band, you can get their entire fucking discography.
Yeah, within a couple of clicks of a button. Yeah.
Yeah. Suddenly.
Well, you've at least got access to it with YouTube and whatnot. I mean, you don't even need to download it anymore. You just listen to it.
Exactly, and you don't need, suddenly having access to their first album, which would have been rare 20 years ago, but now it's commonplace.
Yeah.
I think, if I ever did form a band, I'd definitely have some kind of weird rule where I'd play X amount of songs per album.
Yeah, I would as well.
You're going to get 3 songs per album no matter what.
Yeah.
Bare minimum, you're going to get 3 songs from every album to appease
I have a thing as well about playing an album in full.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to play the whole album in full.
Yeah.
But I would say at some point I want every track off this album played.
Yeah. I went to America to see Pennywise. And
didn't they do
they've
3
done
days?
3 days and 3 albums, mate.
Mm.
Fucking amazing, and it was beautiful. They basically come out, done those 3 albums, and then they done everything else that they'd want to do. And the fucking support, man, was beautiful.
Yeah, it was a different support band every night, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw. I think Strike Anywhere.
To me, it's the measure of a good album. That we can actually play.
Mm.
You know, this album came out 20 years ago, and then we're going to play the whole thing.
Yeah, and it's still going to stand out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a.
Yeah, and I think there are quite a few bands that could get away with that. I think AFI definitely could if they were to say, right, we're going to play London 3 nights in a row. You're going to get Black Sails, Art of Drowning, Sing the Sorrow. That would sell out before, pre-sales would just be fucking nuts on that. I think they'd just smash it. Well, if they were to go, we're going to do Very Proud of You.
I've never done that before either. I've never sat and if a band's played a venue for a couple of nights on a row. Well, I did once. It wasn't 3 nights in a row. It was 2 nights, and then a gig got cancelled, and they rescheduled. I went and saw them a couple of months apart.
Yeah,
but
we did that with Break the Silence, didn't we? We were talking about that a little while.
That was, we sort of saw them at the beginning of the tour and at the end.
And the end, didn't they? Because they come back over, yeah.
For example, Luke, Iron Maiden did 2 nights at the O2 Arena, and Luke went to both. I didn't, and for that case, I wouldn't have bothered because I know it's the same set. When Machine Head did 2 nights at the Roundhouse, that I would have been tempted. I didn't do it, but I know they would have swapped a few things about and done 2.
Yeah, I think that's.
I went to the first night. Luke went to the second night, and the second night they did a Pantera medley.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I wish I saw that. But,
yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If I was going to do a thing for a couple of nights, I would make a thing of hold on. Some people might have gone to more than one show, so let's.
You're going to get 2 different shows.
Yeah.
That kind of
at least something different, even if we throw in one song.
Yeah. Well, I did that, and it's different, 100% different. I get that, but I went to see the Mighty Boosh live.
Yeah.
And I saw them twice. I got to see them twice on the same show.
Yeah.
So the following night. And the first night he fucked up and he fell over.
Yeah.
And they made a big song and dance, they kept calling back to it. Second night he done it again, same spot.
Oh, so it was fucking part of the act, yeah.
And that really
killed it.
Yeah, really, really killed it. It took away something that was unique and special.
I know, and you think surely people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think going to see a band 2 nights on a row and seeing the same songs in the same thing would be exactly as bad for me. It would really take away the magic. I want that band to go, oh, you know what, the crowd went nuts for, the despair factor. Let's play something else off of Art of Drowning.
Yeah.
Or, oh, that one didn't hit. Let's play something newer. The looking out on the stage, they're all young. Let's play something from fucking the Gold album or whatever. Or the Blood album. I can't even fucking remember what the latest AFI album's called.
We'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah. I think Charles Atlas. Thoughts on that?
this was a standout for me.
Yeah.
I like the chorus.
Again, it's something where the guitar can do something. The only bit I don't like about this is the dueling vocals.
It's got
quite something left. It's very punk by numbers, and everything about AFI has been against that.
Yeah.
Cropped
quite
up.
like a little. It's got a little like melodic solo in it as well.
Yeah. Yes, it does. In fact, there's 2 tracks on this where I thought, fuck, there's an actual guitar solo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cropped Up is that track that fuck you very much. It's just really shit.
Yeah. Is that the one? Is that the one I mentioned earlier? I don't want to fuck you. So
yeah,
fuck off.
I do like the distortion behind the vocals.
Yeah.
But obviously that's After Effect. That's nothing to do with the song itself. They obviously listened to that song and gone, the lyrics for this are fucking cringeworthy. We're going to have to do something. I've got an idea. Let's make it harder for them to hear you.
Do you reckon?
Why else would they do that for that song, right?
Just cut the song off. There's fucking 20 songs on the album. But...
Yeah, true. Consult My Lover is the album title song, isn't it? I'm so proud of you, so proud of you.
Right, yeah. Right, so this album artwork.
I guess so. It's the closest thing for it.
It makes sense, yeah. It still doesn't match the aesthetics of the band. But yeah.
No, 100%. Lyric, like title-wise, definitely. That's AFI kind of sneaking in their crazy song titles. Because they've, as they went on, it was like Days of the Phoenix and stuff like that have no relation to what the album's called, do they? But I can't get over how bad Crop Test is. Like it's one of those, it actually hurts me. And I think that's a really disappointing thing for this entire album. There's the bad tracks are so bad that it hurts.
Yeah, it does. The good tracks don't really save it.
Yeah. And when I came on, I was like, I'm so glad this week is over, so I can stop listening to this album.
Yeah, I mean this. I did quite like Answer That and Stay Fashionable actually.
I really enjoyed going back to that album.
And in all fairness, I've not liked this album. I mean, I just think it's better produced. It is a tighter all-round album, but Answer That and Stay Fashionable had a certain snottiness to it and a bit of a naivety to it, and you can kind of forgive the sort of rough edges to it because it is a debut album.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the fact that you're more developed on this album.
And somehow made worse songs than you did before.
I can't forgive that anymore because you have moved on. But
yeah,
like I say, we take a massive leap forward on the next album.
Yeah. I am excited. I am so. I've already downloaded the album in anticipation. So Take the Test. I like this track, although lyrically it's boring though. It's another track that just exists. Obviously, then we get into, I guess, what we call the extras for this album, right? We've got like Two of a Kind.
So is that the re-record?
That's the re-record.
See, I don't know what's a bonus track and what's a album track.
I think after 15 it goes a bit funny.
Yeah. And different editions have got different things. But when I was listening on YouTube, it was like 20 songs.
Yeah. Shatty Fatmas. I think you can tell it's a good song, but it's a really shit name.
Well, with it came to, I think I remember when I said about Arnstead State Festival, as much as it was enjoyable, it didn't have a lot of standout tracks. But when Two of a Kind and your friend Men,
yeah,
whatever it is, those two songs I remembered. I was like, oh, they stood out to me, and I remembered them. So it's like, oh, well, maybe that album did have.
Yeah. Cruise Control. Cruise Control, I love just because it's basically from Dot screaming. Yeah. But the chorus is shit. Actually, Cruise Control is that I don't want to fuck you.
Oh, it's that.
So, yeah. I love the urgency, but that's going to be a thumbs down on my thing. But Modern Epic, I think Modern Epic is the ultimate opener into where AFI are going to go.
Okay, it's interesting. Go ahead. What makes you say that?
So, first things, this song is under 2 minutes. Doesn't feel that way. This song feels like it has stages, which a lot of their other stuff doesn't. Okay, it's full of the woes.
Yeah.
Full of the woes. You can
okay.
You can really hear Davies doing something with his voice beyond snarling. I think if this was on definitely the next album, I don't think you'd see this on The Art of Drowning at all. This is too simple for that, but it'd definitely make it on the album following this, which is
the solo on Modern Epic as well was a bit cartoony, don't you think?
Yeah. If this was on Buffy, you wouldn't think anything different of it.
Funny enough, my wife is a big Buffy fan, and if not once a year, definitely every other year, she will work her way through the box set.
Yeah.
And she's trying to get my son into them, but he's not really having it. And he's just not got the patience to watch a series. He'll sit and watch a film, but get him to watch a series, he's just like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think with the lockdown, she went, I'm going to do Buffy again.
Yeah.
And I said they really did miss an opportunity with this bar that they used to go to, because they used to go to this bar and there was always a band playing and they were always utter shit and real is this even a real band?
Yeah.
And it's like they really could have got onto something here by hiring real bands.
Yeah.
And it could have been like a thing, like, we were on Buffy.
Yeah.
You know?
Because quite a few like Nerf Herd had done the intro, right?
I don't know about that, but
I also
just imagine just like like when a band has a cameo, like there's a scene in a club.
Well,
what was the
Idle Hands
in Idle Hands?
That's right.
I think the Misfits are in one. In Hellraiser 3, the band playing, there's a club and the band playing. There's Armored Saint. Yeah. Obviously, there's the Crow.
But
and the Buffy soundtrack could have been like a soundtrack worth getting, because there'd have been.
I think a lot of bands were actually involved in Buffy. I know Eric from the Nerve Agents was in Buffy.
Oh, really?
He had a bit part. I mean, like it was just. I think he was an extra or a zombie or something in one of the scenes. But if you've got a member of like the East Bay Hardcore, and as you say, you've got a bar where these guys frequent, 100%, why are you not putting, even if it was just local talent, where you go, I can understand
That could
maybe
have
he
been a
doesn't.
thing on its own. Like they could have hired some agent or some scout. They could put a big band in 1 week, a big thing, and they could have been like a launch pad for a smaller band. But then there'd have been a cool thing for a show to get a bigger band playing it. They could have got like a bigger band like Kiss or something. But they could have got them like playing like they were a local band, and it just
exactly. It's disappointing.
Unless you really knew who they were, you wouldn't even know it was them, sort of thing. That would have been funny.
Yeah.
But Cannibal Corpse on Ace Ventura. People still fucking talk about that today.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Eric O. I'm sure he was in Buffy. Maybe. I'm getting Google hits for it. So it sounds about right. But I mean, Buffy's an interesting one to talk about anyway, with Joss Whedon recently in the news.
Oh, he's well, it's always those that shout the loudest, isn't it? That's all I'll say about that.
Exactly. I like Joss Whedon's stuff, but it doesn't mean I have to like him. And I think the reverse stands for a lot of people who love Joss Whedon. Doesn't mean you have to like what he puts out. I didn't really get on with Buffy, but I really enjoyed Firefly.
Yeah, Firefly was awesome.
I really like what he done with the MCU. I think if it wasn't for him, Marvel probably would have fallen over big time. And he's saved that.
He certainly knows how to write. Give him that.
He also certainly knows how to diddle young girls.
Was it as bad as that? I thought he was just a bit of I didn't read it. I heard he was a bit of a tyrant on the.
So he was very much a tyrant, but he was also very much, if you want a position in this,
you're gonna have to
show me your feet.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I know he was in a relationship with. She was a Slayer that went bad. Is it Faith?
I haven't. Her name.
And she went on to star in that shit show that he put out. Because that was just like, right, you've
Doll's
got the
House.
plot now. Yeah, Dollhouse.
I tried watching that so many times.
She starred in that. I know he was in a relationship with her, but I didn't realise he was. So he was doing the same as Harvey Weinstein, allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly for
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, he had a fucking pass Jeffrey's Island as well.
Oh, fucking that! Look, the whole that Epstein thing, mate. I don't think that's the tip of the iceberg. And do you think he was the only one? There's fucking loads of them.
Yeah.
And they've all got islands. Yeah.
Disgusting, bruv.
Yeah. And the motherfuckers are lecturing us. That's the best bit. That you see these awards thing, and they're all giving you speeches.
I love being told what's wrong with the world by someone who's making millions and millions of pounds pretending
I thought that was
to be
the best
someone
bit
else.
with the Ricky Gervais thing. He just went, he was your mate.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But I think we digress.
Yeah. Anyway, so AFI. Very proud of you. A slight misstep.
I think so.
We say.
Yeah, I think it's
a sidestep for the second album.
A definite negative.
Yeah.
But I'm already looking at the track list of Shut Your Mouth and Open Your Eyes, and I am excited, man. Fucking A Single Second. Fucking Salt for Your Wounds. Today's Lesson.
Fantastic song. Yeah.
Oh, mate. Yeah. I think I've seen them play that live. I cannot for a single second by the way I feel.
Yeah, no, when we saw them at the Astoria, it was like 3/4 into the scene, and they fucking did it, didn't they?
Yes.
And Davey Havoc just dived off the fucking stage into the crowd. And I remember me and you looking at each other going, they're fucking playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
I mean, even the artwork screams AFI to me.
Yeah, again, we're still not in the whole spooky Nightmare Before Christmassy kind of thing, but yeah, we've definitely arrived, haven't we?
Yeah.
So, right, let's fuck this one off out of it. I'd give this like a 3 out of 5, and that's being generous, to be honest.
Mate, I give it a 3 out of 10.
All right.
Like honestly, a 3 out of 10. You get a fucking point for every good. Okay, so there's 20 tracks on this.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 standout tracks.
I've given 8 a thumbs up.
4 or 5.
Those,
yeah, and
2 of those are covers from the
and 2 of them are
before.
re-recorded. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh well.
This is quarter of a good album.
Yeah.
Offspring put out better half albums than this.
Yeah. Should have been an EP.
Yes. If this was an EP, this would have been fucking killer. Yeah, 100%. That's really disappointing otherwise. Shoddy writing, shoddy lyrics. Some of these lyrics just downright cringeworthy. But again, so excited about next week.
Right. Well, I think we'll wrap up. We're coming up to an hour. So join us for next week, where we fear tragedy is all that lies ahead. And that is exactly what lies ahead.
Yeah.
So join us next week on WTF Happened to AFI.
Thanks
this
for
has been very proud of you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for listening to our rambles and our digressions. And if you do like it and you made it to the end, give us one of them.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all soon. Thanks a lot.
Hey guys.
Take care, y'all.